Hey everyone, Mike here. Welcome back to my channel. Check out some of my other pop culture videos. I just did a review on the new Fantastic Beasts movie, but in today's video, I am talking about one of my favorite movies so far from 2022. It's called Sonic the Hedgehog 2. You know what it's all about, and man, I loved this, so I want to talk about it for a little bit.
Sonic, meet Knuckles.
I have talked a fair bit on this channel in the past about the original Sonic the Hedgehog live action movie, which came out just before COVID pretty much became really big in Australia in early 2020. I actually did a review on this channel, and it was a pretty scathing review that I did pretty much as soon as I finished watching the movie. I didn't like it when I saw it in cinemas at the time, and funnily enough, just before the Sonic movie came out, a few months before, the Pokemon live action movie Detective Pikachu came out, and I raved about that. And funnily enough, just over time, for whatever reason, my follow-up impression of Detective Pikachu was like, oh, it wasn't as good as I thought it was, and my impression of Sonic really heightened. I was like, oh, that was actually really fun. And I enjoyed that first Sonic movie a lot, retrospectively. At the time, I was like, oh, that was an average movie. But when I thought about it, I was like, oh, that was actually, yeah, a fun movie. And the characterization of Sonic is really good, and I enjoyed it a lot. So I was really, really hyped to see Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I really got my hopes up and was expecting something extremely fun. Of course, the first Sonic movie has a post-credit scene in which we see Tails come through to the human world to find Sonic, and that was such a great moment.
If these readings are accurate, he's here. I found him.
And then in the trailers for the film, we find out that Knuckles will also be appearing. And to be honest, my main criticism with the first Sonic film was that it was so it was taking kind of baby steps introducing the characters to us, because it was really just Sonic and Eggman from the original games, and the rest was an original cast in this original world. There were a few references to the Sonic kind of canon, but until Tails pops up in the post-credit scene, it's not really anything. There's no other real Sonic characters in the world, and I was disappointed by that, mainly because as a fan of the games and the franchise, I always thought that the Sonic characters were so well designed, so cool, so edgy. I love the Sonic characters. I think looking at characters like Sonic, Knuckles, Shadow, Silver, I know people hate Silver, but just the designs of these characters, I've always just thought they were really fun and really exciting video game characters. So I wanted to see as many of them as possible. And when I realized that Sonic 2 was going to have Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles all together in one movie, and, you know, in the games, Knuckles does start out as a villain character and then eventually becomes one of the hero characters with Sonic and Tails. It does follow along that story, and this movie was awesome. And here's the thing. When you see Sonic the Hedgehog or Sonic the Hedgehog 2, you must know on some level that you're not going to see a movie that is an Oscar-worthy movie. You're going to see a movie that's a bit of fun. And that's the thing with movies, and I've talked about this on my podcast a bit. Movies are so subjective. Movies are being made for different people. There's a difference between seeing The Batman and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. They're different movies with totally different purposes that are going to be read in completely different ways by different people. And I'm not going to Sonic the Hedgehog 2 to see an incredible film, a piece of art and artistry. I'm going because I want to see Sonic the Hedgehog, Tails, and Knuckles all on screen together in a live action film. And that's exactly what you get. This movie does focus so much more on the Sonic characters as opposed to the human characters. It's so much more about Sonic and Tails going on a journey, fighting Knuckles, and getting to a point where they team up with Knuckles, right? And fighting Dr. Eggman, and that's what I wanted. And that's why I actually think Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is better than the original Sonic movie. It's so much fun in every way. The performances, Idris Elba as Knuckles, I think, was a really good choice. Knuckles' characterization in this is really good because I remember in the Sonic Boom cartoon, Knuckles was just an idiot. And in this, he's just he's like a brute kind of guy, and he's a bit naive and a bit like singularly focused, but he's not an idiot.
Look at you! Hi! Look at you!
Tails is so well voiced by his original voice actor, Colleen O'Shaughnessy. It's amazing, and it is really cool that an original voice actor from the games got to play Tails in this live action movie. I think it's the perfect fit for Tails, and not only that, but all of the characters visually look so good in this world. Like, they really do look like they live and breathe in this world, and they're not kind of tacked on in any way. And I think Hollywood is getting better at this. Like in Detective Pikachu, I think the designs of the Pokemon were really good. They really felt like they lived in this world. For example, at the start of that movie, you see the Cubone in the wild, and I was like, oh, like, yeah, it looks awesome in this live action form, this sort of realistic redesign, but it still resembles the original. And I think going with the fans, the Sonic team, going with the fans after that original trailer where Sonic just looked woeful and horrific, and actually being like, okay, let's just redesign it so they look like the characters in the games. Amazing. And it does feel like what Sega and Paramount and whoever's making this movie franchise, it does feel like what they want from these movies essentially is, one, yes, we want to do fan service. Two, we want this movie to appeal to kids and a lot of people and families, right? So we do have to build in a lot of that stuff. But yeah, we do want to do fan service. This is for the fans. And if this movie franchise is what makes Sonic relevant and accessible to a new audience, then I think that's awesome. And that's obviously the point of this. It's to make the character of Sonic relevant in a film space and, you know, sell that character to more people. And I think this franchise should do that. I don't know how this movie has performed in terms of box office or critically, but I thought it was much better than the first one.
You finally had all 7 Chaos Emeralds together? And you threw them away?
Exactly.
Are you crazy? What are we gonna do?
I guess we're gonna have to find him again.
One thing that I did want from the first one that we didn't really get here, and again, I'm really happy that we got Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails. And spoilers, I'm gonna say a spoiler right here. We get Supersonic as well. At the end of the movie, Sonic does go supersonic with the power of friendship and all of that stuff, and that is really, really fun. It is. I love Supersonic because it's essentially Super Saiyan from Dragon Ball in every single way. Like, it gets more powerful and hair turns blonde. It's literally Super Saiyan, but for Sonic. Yeah, Super Saiyan definitely would have come first because Sonic was in the mid-90s, whereas Dragon Ball was in the 80s. Someone do a fact check on that. But anyway, loved seeing Sonic in supersonic form. And what I am kind of disappointed we're not getting, and hopefully in the next movie, because there is going to be a Sonic 3 in a few years, more on that later. I think the Sonic franchise has such a vast catalogue of music, such great music in those games, like the iconic Green Hill Zone theme, and the Green Hill, there's references to that in the movie, like the town on Earth that people live in is called Green Hills, and in the first movie, towards the end of the film, there's like a slow piano rendition of Green Hill Zone's theme, but I kind of wish they drew on more of the game music a little bit more. I think there's such a great catalogue. They obviously don't have to rip the track from the game and just put it in, but reorchestrations and remixes and, you know, reimagined versions of some of those themes, it would be great for a fan of the franchise to hear stuff like that. As well as that, when Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails all teamed up and were fighting at the end, I wanted so badly, and I knew it would never happen, but I thought there might be a chance to hear the Sonic Heroes theme. You know, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Heroes. I really wanted to hear that. It didn't happen, but I thought, can we get more references to those tracks in this movie? Because the original score, I don't find that engaging. There is the ringtone, the cop who played by James Marsden in the film, his phone rings in the movie, and his phone, I think, is ringing to the Green Hill Zone theme, which is cool, but it's not it's just these little bites. Like, I would love to hear a bit more of that. And the other thing is all the zones. It still takes place essentially almost always in the real world. And in Sonic, there's such a great design of different worlds. Again, Green Hill Zone, Starlight Zone, the Casino Zone, like all these different zones and worlds that we could be exploring in the Sonic universe. I'd love for the third movie to take us there, like to go back into Sonic's world and hopefully continue of the trend of being a little bit less about the humans and more about the Sonic characters. That's what I would really want. But I don't know what we're going to get. What I do know about Sonic 3, and this is another spoiler for the post-credit scene of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, is that, and I think most people were calling this already because the logo, like it's not really a spoiler because the logo for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, so the logo for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the 2 is colored like Tails, so we know Tails is a character. For Sonic the Hedgehog 3, it's red and black. The 3 is red and black. So it's like, okay, which Sonic character are they referencing? Of course, if you're a fan of Sonic, you know that this obviously implies Shadow the Hedgehog is coming. And of course, at the post-credit scene for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, you see Shadow the Hedgehog. And he looks awesome. And I can't wait for this. So, Shadow the Hedgehog in the third movie, great. Would love to still see Metal Sonic. Would also still love to see... I actually wouldn't mind seeing some of the even more periphery characters. Amy, Roge the Bat, the crocodile dude, I can't remember his name, but all of those guys I think would be great. Metal Sonic as a villain would be cool, but it's ambiguous now as to whether Jim Carrey will return for a third movie. To be honest, I think it would be fine to have him not return now and just have Shadow as the villain in the next one. I think because I'm pretty sure Metal Sonic is a creation of Eggman, it kind of leaves it ambiguous as to how Metal Sonic would come in. But, you know, of all of the Sonic characters, Shadow and Metal Sonic would probably be the next two that I would want to see in a live action form. But yeah, I think it's really true to the lore of the games, but it also has its own lore. You learn more about the backstory of the echidnas that attacked Sonic and Longclaw in the first movie. Knuckles was obviously part of that clan. You learn more about that. And that developing lore, I think, is really interesting. And yeah, I really liked this movie, guys. I was so happy with it. I thought it was so much fun. It was such a great cinema experience, and I can't wait for this franchise to continue. I hope they make a few more of these movies with different Sonic characters coming in each time. Yeah, it is totally, like, from when I saw the first one in cinemas to now, my reflection on all of this has totally changed, and number 2, much better than number 1, which is a rare thing to say. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Check out some of my other videos. I do pop culture videos like this, just talking about a bunch of stuff in the pop culture sphere. And I also do a podcast called 20th Century Boy. That is where I talk about my day-to-day life as a writer and producer here in Melbourne, Australia. So if you want to check that out and have a few laughs with me and hang out for an hour every week, go listen to it on Spotify or on my YouTube channel, Apple Podcasts, wherever you podcast. Guys, that's about it. Watch some of my other videos and subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Catch ya.